Hello and welcome to the Great Avalon Tournament hosted on Avalon.ist. This is game number 12. As you can see, I am Vanilla Town VT in seat 1.6. This will be an exciting game. I am recording and I will be playing. I'm being coached right now by my friend Maxi, who's also on my team. So this should be a win. I don't know. I don't know why it's taking so long. Like, it shouldn't take 8 minutes for the game to start either. I get so antsy when that happens too. Like I had wanted. Ooh. Mhm. Yeah. It may. Well, who's coaching him though? I don't think Yules does that either. Yeah. In that game yesterday, I was telling Sue that he needed to chat, and he was just like, not doing it. Sue talked with me. He did a good job talking with me, but then I would be like, you just need to type in the chat and you need to say something, because otherwise you're not going to have anything. And he said, like, he spied Mouse 2 missions after Mouse spied him. And I was like, oh my god. Like, it cracked me up. I think Sue is a boy, but I don't know. It was just funny. I wish I would have recorded it. Do you think Thirsty, like, is it Tiersy or Thirsty? Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't know. Unless they, like, moved it to a different channel that we can't see. Which I thought I saw, I know Anders is streaming. And yeah, so they probably just did that. Yeah, well, all the duo games are going to be really slow. Especially, I feel like this one will be slower than the last one because people are going to spend time, like, talking to their coaches and they're going to be like, what do we do? What do we do? Okay, what the heck? Oh, I thought this was Hammer. I was like, why are you off picking Hammer, you monster? Okay. Well, he's forcing a pick on me. I don't think Artsy is talking to Mare. I think if Mare saw that, he might be having an aneurysm. Well, oh my god. He did just log out. Maybe it was just a lag or something. I'm such a troll. I feel like I've played so many games of SH with him though, where he just does not chat, and it's like, bruh, what are you doing? Yeah. Mm-hmm. I agree. I know. I don't want to waste forever either. I think bottom is really viable right now. I think I could see Square being the team too, but hmm either way, I think Z is on all teams with me. If M1s are right anyway. I don't think Mare will do that in a tourney game. I think he's less likely to do it anyway. I mean, Mm-hmm. Or I could just do square too. But I guess nah, it's probably. Mm-hmm. When I add Anders, he should. And same with Goofy. Good Goofy should be accusing M1 when I add Anders. Mm-hmm. Right, so I think it's yeah, Square is the only team where that makes sense. And I wouldn't mind I don't know. I'll probably just pick Square in M3 and see what happens. I think it's kind of. I'm not totally sure on this, but I think it's kind of a res out to be stalling here because you're asking somebody for how to pick things. Because I think spies would just be like, well, whatever, I'm just gonna pick dumb crap. Okay. Mm-hmm. Nice. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's I. You actually think what? I agree that it would be weird to float. I don't think. I think. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't like this team. I like Square more than this team. Oh, maybe I shouldn't have rejected. Do you think if that's a clean team? I think I said I want to pick bottom. Right? Because if bottom fails, Z is still probably res with hammer. And then he can pick Z, me, and Goofy. No. Mm-hmm. But that 1.4, you know. Maybe we just go with Square. And if 3.1 is the team, then ooh. Yeah. I don't know. I just don't think that's team. Weird. Feels weird, man. Maybe it was 3.1. I wouldn't, whatever. Oh well. I mean, it's more on me, because I kind of just snap rejected it. I don't know. Vibes, I don't really like that team. I think. Yeah, I'm just gonna. Yeah. Yeah, I'm just gonna app it for Hammer. Oh, it's a fail. There's no way this is clean, right? Oh, Z stalling. If M2 fails, it's probably 3.1. But 3.1 still has, what, 3 Merlins on it? Technically. Yeah. So I don't mind rejecting, and if Square's the team, then it kind of, like... What is this guy stalling for? Yeah. Do you think... Mm-hmm. Well, they hard rejected Square. Uh-huh. No, he should pick, like, left-hand side. That's probably a better team for him to pick. Who's this coach? Oh, maybe he does pick that then. Oh my god. Um. Uh-huh. I agree. I don't know if I don't think Anders is gonna be Merlin picking that 1.1. Yeah. I agree. I think he's more likely to be Percival. Hmm. And it could still be left-hand side plus artsy, right? Like, that is still a team that could exist in some freaky world, but I don't think that is it. The M4 is hilarious. Oh my god. Should I ask something? Or do I just pick M2? Maybe he's just trying to un-Merlin. Do I even pick M2? I kind of have to pick M2, right? I think M2 is best info. What do you think? I agree. I'm just gonna pick it. And if I get flamed for this, whatever. If it's square, yeah. Okay. Who the fudge? What is he doing? Do you think it's Z Merlin? I think the M4 is bizarre, and mm-hmm. I know. $1.5 is not a VT. It is a VT pick. What do you mean? What are they talking about? I think it's just Z. Like, I think. What is the 3.2 reject? Dude, what are these spies on about? What is going on? Oh. What are they actually on about? Yeah, why is Z? I don't understand why Z is That's so weird. I think it's a C. I don't know. I'll be back in a second. I'm pretty sure it's just Anders Dizzy. You know? Yeah, but even then, I sometimes do that. But no, 3.1 reject I sometimes do. Oh, they're in a VC. Do you want to go join them? Oh, he's Percy to Z. Nice. Mm-hmm. Alright, let's go join this stream and see what's going on. For those of you watching at home, sitting up clean is in fact a Merlin pick. Merlins do enjoy getting a clean team. So Andrew just asked in the VC because there's like a post missions VC with all the res and the watchers of the game. He asked what happens if Tier C off apps 4.4. And so I'll talk about this chat in a second as well. But if Tier C were to decide to off app 4.4, I think we probably still go with bottom. Otherwise, we're picking left-hand side plus artsy. But even then, I don't really like Goofy this game. But you have to oscillate between why did artsy take off Z from M1, which was logical to do because the ad, and why would Z as a spy reject 3.2? You know? Because I don't think I don't think Z as Morgana would be rejecting 3.2. But it's also hard to tell because we weren't there. I probably would go with bottom, but you just never know. Also, after I joined the VC, Anders did state it was Anders to Z, so that's kind of funny. Alright, let's see. Yada yada yada. How is ZVT picking 1.5? Like, 1.5 is a logical VT pick. Now, keep in mind, so Anders, the duo operator, unpicked me. He's resing me. This guy I off-picked. This guy off-picked those Artsy and Bremy, which is kind of a spy pick in general. After some information's been garnered this game, no res is going to off-pick Hammer with the res. If they're 2 res, probably. Unless, like, the team was exactly this. But even then, it's just a weird off-pick on 1.3, and I don't really like it a whole lot. And Artsy also off-picks both spies and just apps them. You know? Which is kind of a meme, but they didn't really think about that. I think that off-app was a misclick. But this pick right here forces Z to pick me. Because, look, Artsy is saying, hey, these guys are probably on the same team. Which is true. They're just both spies. And so if they're on the same team, and Z unpicks me, and then we go all the way to 2.5 and it fails, then Z can safely pick right-hand side plus Goofy. And that's probably a viable team. Or so is Square, but it would be this team or it would be this team. Because he's providing the information that these guys are on the same team. So this is a very logical pick. Like a VT, a Percy, a Merlin could pick this 1.5. So I disagree with that statement. 2.5 spies tier C. It doesn't really spy anybody. It's just saying when I add somebody to M1, they're more res than the other person on M1. So like I'm basically resing this person if M1 is clean. So once it gets all the way to Artsy, Artsy sees, hey, Bremy unpicks the duo operator, so I'm going to pick those 2. And if it fails, then he's probably a spy. And that's a lot more information. Or the team again would be this. And that's a lot more information for Artsy. And that's a logical thing to pick. 2.5 is very logical. Suicidal Merlin? No. Disagree. I did not spy Artsy with 2.1. I just said, I think Anders is the most res, and I think Anders is the best add to this team. Because why would Anders, as a spy, set up clean with Z? You know? Why is he on picking this? Artsy is an illogical VT saying, sure, let me add myself to 1.1 after 2. I never spied Artsy. This read is just weird. I hate RNG players. I don't think this was an RNG play, sir. At all. It's very, very fine picks. Okay. 3.3 is weird. So they're thinking it's Anders to Artsy right now. And they're saying 3.3 is weird because M2 is clean. Right? Which is true, because if Anders picks this team and we all app, then those 2 would be 2 Merlins to him, and he would be denying the information that he proved to the team without any Merlins. And same with any Percy right here. So they're trying to eliminate information combos, which is fairly common when, you know, the res think they have a clean team in M2, since a spy is probably failing 2.5. And especially after these 3.2 rejects, that's really, if Square is not the team, it's just bottom. So your PRs will try and hide Merlin even more, which is a good play, you know, if you think it's clean. But it's also risky, because if it's not clean, then you're going to ruin the game. 3.1 and 3.2 gets me to think Bremy is not Merlin, which is fair. Because I don't think I do that as much as Merlin, and maybe I should start doing that more as Merlin. You know, rejecting viable Danises. This 3.2, I think, is a very logical pick. But I understand what his sentiment with that, and I actually agree with that. Yeah, in 4.4, I thought about that too. 4.4 is so risky. It's just saying, hey, I'm going to outspy as Merlin. Because imagine this team, right? Imagine a team with Goofy, Bremy, and Z. And then tier C off apps. Then it's going to be entirely chat reading as opposed to mission information. It would be a really, really tough game. I don't think Merlin lives from that. He's very lucky tier C didn't decide to off app that. And if I was a spy right there and I saw that mission, I would just off app, because you know that I'm probably gonna pick mission 2 again. So clean's probably gonna happen. So you might as well force PRs to panic and see what happens. Anders chat a lot more normally. Merlin doesn't have a reason to chat. Freaking res double hammer. 1.4 is too absurd to be a Merlin pick. What? Dude, as Merlin, I'm just gonna off-pick app 2 spies now. If it's too absurd with Goofy. Like, that's silly. That's such a good pick. Oh, look at this. See? After 4.4, that would explain 1.5. If there's one spy in Anders tier C and one is artsy from Z point of view. I never look at this. I'll have to start rejecting Danis's as Merlin, I guess. Because that really unmerlins you. I tried giving myself control in the game, as well as trying to pick Square instead, because I think Square is more viable than that team. And I did doubt myself when we were talking a lot about the bottom team, which seemed really viable, but... Whatever, kids. When M2 passes, just app a Danis and go back to M2. I guess that's the moral of the story. And for those of you who do not know what a Danis is, because I guess I didn't really assume people's skill level, or how much information they know about the game. A Danis is when, let's say, missions go through and you see mission 2 pass, and it succeeds and there's no fails on the mission. There might still be a spy in there, because spies can float these missions, and people are a lot more stressed in 5.4 critical when M1 and M2 pass. So the whole design of it is to prevent mission 2 floats. And what you do is you pretend, okay, let's say M2 passes, then I'm going to start picking an M3, but I'm going to pick as if mission 2 failed. Which is exactly why Square. Because if this team fails, then it's never bottom, right? And it's probably Square. Just logically, Square fits a lot more in that situation. So... That's why, yep, see, look at this. She has no reason to not to app 3.2. You should app 3.2. It's a better team. And read this chat right here too. This is what I was talking about. RC said, I think some players would spy a tier C outright for 1.3. Which is true. It's a very spy pick. Or it's a very heavy information pick. And no VT is going to off-pick those two based on M1 and M2. This is very bizarre. I don't think a VT would pick that. And we do know this assassination, so it is Anders to Z. So now we just kind of gotta wait for this 10-minute timer to end. Okay, so this chat line's kind of a meme when he says, "Who's on Pingaman's team? Do they just autumn work me?" Um, Look at this guy. He's so salty. He's so salty. I mean, you have to think too. If one Merlin is on M1s and the other one is off, you probably don't want the Merlins mixing together. So, people are less likely to be autumn warging than they are simply to be going with a team that's clean if M1s are correct. And if M1s are wrong, then it gets all the way through it and you get to critical and you say, I think M1s are wrong. Look at him. Z isn't an add to M2. Z is the add to M2. Z is the only add to M2. At least from my point of view. And I did consider left hand side plus RC in some weird world, but Oh, I also misspoke. This is game 13. There's not really anything happening. I don't think these guys are shooting Z. Unless they shoot randomly on timer. Alright, I'm gonna BM. So this is so BM to post this. Do I post it? That would be so mean. Well, I don't think there's much else to be gathered from this game, and we do know the combination. But I would feel bad if I ended the game or ended the recording before the shot. Look, Goofy's just complaining. These spies are not understanding what's going on. They're saying 1.5 is illogical, but explain to it why it is logical. So... Oh man, that's so BM. And we won! They never saw it coming. Bummer, dude. So I guess let's review and let's see if we can gather anything from this. Is that Goofy was absolutely right. Z can't reject 3.2. It's a very good Danis, and I think if Z apps that team, Z is even less likely to be dead. And Anders probably just slams bottom. And they probably panic and then they just shoot Anders. But yep. So I think spies just need to realize that 3.2 reject. And I think tier C, if tier C off apps this team, oh man, that would be a spicy critical. So I'm very glad he didn't. But this 4.4, if he apps that, and I considered rejecting, but you know, I'm not really a player to reject M4s. Some players do, like when Buncha would play it, he would reject them all, and I've considered that a couple times. But the apping this 4.4 from tier C would have been big spy play. other than that, I don't think there's much else we can gather other than what I said already. So, thanks for listening, and I will see you all next time.